Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's mine.
We're live, bros. Okay. Okay. You wrote this?
Yes.
When?
I started after I quit school. I finished a few months before Dad died.
Did he see it?
No, he didn't know I was working on it. It wouldn't have mattered to him anyway. He was too sick.
Oh.
Come on. I don't understand. You did this by yourself?
Yes.
It's in Dad's notebook.
I used a bunch of his blank books. I used one of his blank books. There were a bunch of them upstairs.
Tell me exactly where you found this.
In his study.
In his desk. I gave him the...
Hold on. Where did you find it?
In the bottom drawer of the desk in the study. A locked drawer.
Why was the drawer locked?
It's mine. It's the drawer I keep my private things in. I've used it for years.
Is there anything else in this drawer?
That would be me. No.
No, that's the only...
Can I see it? I'm sorry, the book was in the, you told him where to find it. You gave him the key, you wrote this incredible thing and you didn't tell anyone?
I'm telling you both now. After I dropped out of school, I had nothing to do. I was depressed, but at a certain point I decided, fuck it. I don't need them. It's just math. I can do it on my own, so I kept working here. I worked at night after Dad had gone to sleep. It was hard, but I did it.
Christopher, I just find this very hard to believe.
Roy, I wrote the proof.
I'm sorry,
This is Dad's...
Oops.
Oh, sorry. Roy,
this is Dad's handwriting.
it's not.
It looks exactly like it.
It's my writing.
I'm sorry.
Ask Hal. He's been looking at Dad's writing for weeks.
I don't know.
Hal, come on.
What does it look like?
It looks... I don't know what Christopher's writing looks like.
It looks like that.
Okay. Okay.
I think, you know what? I think it's early and people are tired and not in the best state of mind to make emotional decisions about things. I think we should just all take a breath.
You don't believe me?
I don't know. I really don't know anything about this, Christopher.
Never mind. I don't know why I expected you to believe me about anything.
Could you show us the proof that would prove it was yours?
You wouldn't understand it.
Tell it to Hal.
We could talk through it together. It might take a while.
You can't use the book.
For God's sakes, it's 40 pages long. I didn't memorize it. It's not a muffin recipe. This is stupid. It's my book, my writing, my key, my drawer, my proof. Hal, tell him.
Tell him what?
Whose book is that?
I don't know.
What's the matter with you? You've been looking at his other stuff. You don't know there's nothing even remotely like this?
Look, Christopher.
We'll go through the proof together. We'll sit down. If Roy would just please let me have my book back.
Alright, talk him through it.
That might take days. Oh.
Okay. Look, that might take days, and it still wouldn't show that he wrote it.
Why not?
Well, your dad might have written it and explained it to you later. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying there's no proof that you wrote this.
Of course there isn't, but come on. He didn't do this. He couldn't have. He didn't do any of this mathematics for all these years. Even in his good year, he couldn't work. You know that. You're supposed to be a scientist.
You're right, you're right. Okay. Here's my suggestion. I know 3 or 4 guys at the department. Very sharp, disinterested people who knew your father, knew his work. Let me take this to them.
What?
Delayed reaction. Listen, I'll tell them we found something potentially major. We're not sure about the authorship. You know, I'll sit down with them, we'll go through the thing carefully.
Good.
And figure out exactly what we've got. It would only take a couple of days probably, and then we'd have a lot more information.
I think it's an excellent suggestion.
You can't.
Christopher.
No, you can't take it.
I'm not taking it.
This is what you wanted.
Oh, come on, Jesus.
You don't waste any time, do you? No hesitation. You just can't wait to show them your brilliant
trying to
discovery.
determine what this is.
I'm telling you what it is.
You don't know.
I wrote it!
Look, it's your father's handwriting. At least it looks a lot like the writing in the other books. Maybe your writing looks exactly like his. I don't know.
It doesn't look like this. I didn't show this to anyone else. I could have. I wanted you to be the first to see it. I didn't know I wanted that until last night. It's me. I trusted you.
I know.
Was I wrong?
No,
I should have known he wouldn't believe me. I should have known he wouldn't believe me, but why don't you?
This is one of his notebooks. The exact same kind he used.
I told you, I just used one of his blank books. There were extras.
There aren't any extra books in his study.
There were when I started writing the proof. I bought them for him. He used the rest up later.
And the writing.
You want to test the handwriting?
No, it doesn't matter. He could have dictated it to you, for Christ's sake. It still doesn't make sense.
Why not?
Look, I'm a mathematician.
Yes.
I know how hard it would be to come up with something like this. I mean, it's impossible. You'd have to be your dad, basically. Your dad at the peak of his powers.
I'm a mathematician too. Yeah.
Mathematician.
Mathematician too.
Not like your dad.
Oh, he's the only one who could have done this?
The only one I knew.
Are you sure?
Your father was...
Just because you and the rest of the geeks worship him doesn't mean he wrote this proof, Hal.
He was the best. I mean, my generation hasn't produced anything like him. He revolutionized the field twice before he was 22. I'm sorry, Christopher, but you took some classes at Northwestern for a few months?
My education was not at Northwestern. It was in this house for 25 years.
Even so, it doesn't matter. This is too advanced. I don't even understand most of it.
You think it's too advanced.
Yeah.
It's too advanced for you.
You could not have done this work.
But what if I did?
Well, what if?
It would be a real disaster for you, wouldn't it? And for the other geeks who barely finished their PhDs, who are marking time doing lame research, bragging about the conferences they go to. Wow. Playing an awful band and whining that they're intelligently past 28. Because they are!
You know what, Chris? Let's go inside, Christopher.
Good read.
Yeah, very good read. There you go. What is it? A little nice. I would suggest numbering.
Yeah.